Goal of the 9-yard line. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown.
And as always, y'all know how we do it, man. We got to thank God every minute of every day. Shouts out to my man Joe Ham in the building.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
I'm your boy, One Live Student Ryan Stewart. This is a pop-up in the huddle with Joe Ham, and I'm going to explain to y'all why here in a quick second. But it is your boys in the huddle with Joe Ham. He's Joe Hamilton. I'm Ryan Stewart. Last week, we did not do a show on Wednesday. Joe sent me the rundown for the show on Tuesday while I was in the car riding to South Carolina to my mom's house. When I got the rundown, I looked at it and said, okay, is there any way I'll be able to do a show tomorrow? Didn't have my equipment, didn't have my mic, didn't have my light, which is very important. And then I said, how am I going to call Joe and tell him I'm not going to be able to do a show? My wife said, pick up the phone and call him and just be honest. So I didn't call. I sent him a text like a chump. Hey, man, my bad. I forgot to remind you that we out of here. We're headed to South Carolina for the family weekend, man. So I wasn't going to be able to do a show. But since then, intentionally on my end and on Joe's end, as this is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart of the Two Live Stews. We haven't spoken because we know that when we speak, we're going to do what we're about to do right now. And unfortunately, we've been trying to save it for the podcast.
Yes.
Typically, we talk 3-4 times a day, but we've been trying to save it for the podcast so we can have surprises and reactions and thoughts and debate. So shouts out to everybody that's joining us. We're going to talk about something else more minuscule here in a quick second before we get to a couple of topics that we have today. We won't be on long, but as I mentioned, this is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I am One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. You can catch the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews Experience every Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock on YouTube. You can also catch the Two Live Stews Experience on the Sports Rap Network app, as well as on 107.5 HD2 FM in Detroit, Monday and Thursday from 10 o'clock to 12. Joe, how you doing, sir? How's it going?
Well, excited. Family's doing well. Mm-hmm. Everybody's doing good. I'm going to put an umbrella on everybody's doing outstanding, Stu, and not to gloss over it, but I'm excited to get started. I'm excited because what you said about last Wednesday and during the time from Thanksgiving break, the Thanksgiving lineup as far as football, Saturday lineup as far as rivalry weekend or rivalry games, to now, I can't wait to hear you. I can't wait to hear you talk because some of these things that's legendary. What Lane Kiffin went through, Shador's Sanders starts, what we feel about our Bulldogs. Some of it we're going to probably get to in the huddle with Joe Ham on Wednesday. Some we might not get to today, but it's a lot. And I'm excited to just talk to you about what we talked about earlier and saving it. This is why we're having a pop-up. You know I couldn't wait to get this off of our chest. We couldn't wait till Wednesday. So, I'm excited, brother. I'm excited.
Every Wednesday at noon, or if we can't do it at noon because of pre-existing schedules, we'll try to do it right around the 8 o'clock mark. But every Wednesday, In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. This is how it goes down. Joe, before we get into a schedule that just grew, okay, our intentions today is to talk Lane Kiffin, as you mentioned.
Absolutely.
And to talk Georgia Tech, Georgia, post-Georgia Tech, Georgia, as you just mentioned. Yes. And you just threw in there Shador. Joe, you can't throw nothing else in there. This is all we got. This is all we got, okay? But before we get to any of those, quick questions for you. Do you play spades?
Yes.
Okay. When you play spades, do you guys allow the first hand to bid itself, or do you look at your hand and then decide how many books you're going to get from that first hand? How do y'all start your first round of spades?
First hand bids itself.
Okay. First hand bids itself.
Now, I must say that, I've played different ways, but I know you're talking to me now where if they come to the Hamilton's household, where house rules and what I've been growing up doing. That's what you're saying. Yes.
Okay.
So, yes,
okay.
we play first hand bids itself.
So when your first hand bids itself, what if you only get 2 books on your first hand? What does that mean?
That means that you're generally set. And that means that the other guy has 10 books, the game's over.
Oh, okay.
Or the other team. Because if you're playing a team and you only got 2 books, that means that the other team has 11 books. So that's game over. Right?
Let me ask you this then. So what happens if you only get 3 books and the other team has 10 books?
That's still that's 10. That's game gone.
All right. I was under
especially on the first hand. Especially on the first hand.
Just the first hand.
Yeah, because first hand bids itself.
Okay. Second thing, and then I'll share these thoughts with you because we had a couple of segments that were taken up on the Two Live Stews Experience this morning, talking about our annual spades tournament that we usually have back at the crib. Do you know what a blind is?
Absolutely, I do.
Do you play blinds?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right.
Down 100. I think you got to be down 100.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, the only thing we disagree on is the first hand bidding itself, and if someone was to only get 2 or 3 books in that first hand. Because it bids itself, I've never looked at it, or the people I've played with, we've never looked at it as you're set. How can you be set if you did not make a bid? And if the first hand bids itself, then I'm not saying we're going board, we're going minimum. I'm not saying we're bidding 6. I'm not saying we're going to get 8 books. I'm saying the first hand bids itself.
Absolutely.
So
what happens there?
If I come in under 4,
right?
How can I have a negative or get set if the first hand bids itself?
And that's why it lies to the fact that it's not even getting set or it's not even being at a negative. The game is over because a Boston on the first hand is game over. That's a 10. Well, so if you don't get 4 books, that means I got 10. That means that game is over. We're going to reshuffle for a new game. Okay, so what happens if you very good point, and this is in other words, Joanne. We won't be talking spades all day. But some real good meat here in the
it's all good. It's all good because 9-4. If I happen to have a great hand on that first hand that we dealt, first hand bids itself. I get 9 and you get 4. The game continues. So what is it called when one team gets all 13 books? Oh, that's just the game. I mean, it's the same thing. So, from 10 to 11, 12, or 13, same thing. Game's gone. Game's really over. Okay. Yes. All right. Well, no, on the first hand, yeah. I've always known that if someone gets all the books, then it's a wrap. But I don't think I've ever played. If you get 10, the game is over in the first hand. Yes. That's how we play. Yes. All right. Well, yeah. My brother and I, we got into debating and arguing and fussing about spade at the crib because we agreed that the first hand would bid itself before we started playing. And we also agreed that we would play big joker has the color, small joker is all black. Next biggest trump card is ace of spades, then king of spades on down. That's the only ground rules that we set up, how we would play trump and the importance of trump or the significance of trump and what order trump fell in. We didn't talk about anything else. So after the first hand, when my partner reneged because my son Miles didn't know that Joker, he didn't know they were spades. He thought they were just the cards with the muscle. He thought it was a wild card? He didn't know that he didn't. Again, this would have been our 3rd year doing it. Okay. So he's been learning every year. First year, Doug and Kara won. Second year, Miles and I won. And this year, we didn't get past the first hand because my brother said I couldn't go blind after we got set the first hand, or not set, after the first hand bidded itself and we only had 1 book. He said that we couldn't go blind. And then we argued about how I wasn't set because if the first hand bids itself, then I'm not bidding board or bidding 5 or 6 to get less than. The first hand bid itself, I get what I earn in that first round.
No doubt about it. No doubt about that. No doubt about what you just said. You should have had one, and it should not have been a set if y'all don't play, games over with double digits. Yeah.
After they got 12 and we only got 1, after we're shuffling the cards, I say, hey, we want to go a blind 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother goes, we don't play blinds. And I said, what do you mean we don't play blinds? I play blinds all the time when I play spades. Now, I do believe and follow house rules wherever I play. However, when we set up the rules, because we're not at your house or my house, we're at Mimi's house, and this is common ground. So when we talked about the rules, we didn't talk about blinds or no blinds. We didn't talk about how the first book would literally bid itself. We said it would bid itself. We didn't talk about what that meant. And then when I asked for a blind, he goes, we don't play blinds. No, you don't play blinds. I play blinds when I play. So when we couldn't get on the same page with the blinds, my brother quit.
Quit?
He refused to play. He got up and quit. So
no game at all?
Him and his daughter got up from the table and left.
And let me give my 2 cents real quick.
And give you 2 cents. But what really crushed me when this happened was not that we weren't going to get to play, but it was he's quitting in front of the children.
Yeah. It's just fellowship is I'm going to grab my cards and leave on my ball and get off the park.
This would have been our 3rd time playing spades, and he got up and quit because the rules were not the way he insisted that they be.
Without taking sides here, I'll say this.
No sides. Speak your piece. Don't take no sides. And we're going to jump straight into the lane, Kiffin, the minute you get done.
I am very disappointed with you guys being brothers that y'all don't have the Stewart rules. I mean, that how many games of spade have you guys played in y'all history? So y'all don't have a genuine consensus of, hey, bro, this is how we always play. Right. That's disappointing to me to where he has to quit. Yeah. Oh, come on, man.
Listen to this. He said, before the game, you did not say we were playing blinds. My rebuttal, before the game, you did not say we were not playing blinds. What makes you right now? How come your rule trumps my rule?
And Doug knows all about playing blinds? Does he know all about that?
He said they don't do that at South Carolina State.
So he's never played blinds before.
So he says. However, I have and I do. And we didn't discuss it prior to the game. So why not get on the same page and move forward? But to quit in front of the children and the nieces and and Mimi, to quit?
What did he have to say this morning?
Oh no. He tried to speak his piece. And then some of the listeners agreed with him. Some of them agreed with me. And I said, hey, man, I'm looking in the comments. And I'm sure we've got some comments right now. Let me pull them up. And everybody's saying 13 is Boston. Right, 13 is called Boston. And I believe 10 is called Rock, if I'm not mistaken. And for 10, you get double. You get 200. And if it's Boston, I always thought the game was over if you had Boston, which is why I was so elated that we got the 1 book so we can keep playing.
Yeah. I've always played just that, 10 on the first hand. When you get 10 is a wrap. Hey, but
let's stop here real quick. Hey, Marvin Child says Doug is a clown. We're not going to do that, Marvin. We're not going to do that. He's not here to defend himself, and because he's not here to defend himself, Marvin, I got to defend him. You can't call my brother a clown, even though when he got up from that table, he had on big toe shoes and a big red nose. You can't call him a clown, Marvin.
Man, bro. I'm telling you, man. It had to be one of those, come on, bro. It had to be one of that. If I was dealing with a sibling, my sister or my brother, I would, hey, come on, man. We got to finish this up. At least play a game, because at this point, why I'm a little disappointed in Doug is because everybody's 0-0. We hadn't even played a game. We're not going to even play one.
And
why are you so upset that
this was going to be our third year? This was going to be our third year. So they won one, and we
to break the tie. To break the tie.
And now you just quit because
my God,
we don't want to do it the way you think we should do it. In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I am Ryan Stewart, One Live Stew. You can catch the 2 Live Stews every single Monday and Thursday at 7 a.m. on YouTube, as well as on Facebook and Instagram. We appreciate y'all for being here. We appreciate y'all liking and sharing the show and passing the word because we honestly need it. Joe and I didn't do a show last week. Tons of sports to talk about this week. And with the show coming up on Wednesday, we wanted to make sure we got to some of the meat from the past weekend. That is why we're going to start with Lane Kiffin. Joe Ham.
Yes, sir.
Lane Kiffin is the first coach to coach 3 SEC schools. He did a year in Tennessee, just got done doing 6 in Ole Miss, and now he's headed to LSU, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's on a 7-year deal worth somewhere between $84 and $100 million. Let's just say the 7-year deal is for $84. That's going to make it $12 million per year. He will not coach Ole Miss in the college football playoffs this season. They are assured to be in. They've only lost 1 game. So even though they will not be playing in the SEC championship, they get a seat. They got a ticket to the ride. He's 55-19 from 2020 to 2025. That's the 3rd best cumulative record in the SEC during the time of 2020 to 2025. Whenever Ole Miss has their final team meeting, which will probably take place after the college football playoffs are over or when their ride in the college football playoffs are over, when they have their team meeting, Kiffin will not be allowed to attend. I say all that to tee this thing up to you to tell me your thoughts on Lane Kiffin being the new head coach of LSU. Take it wherever you want to, Joe.
Shout out to Lane Kiffin for taking advantage of an opportunity, a great opportunity at LSU where they expect to win titles. Shout out to Lane Kiffin to where he is an outstanding offensive coordinator that's won a lot of championships, NCAA championships as an assistant.
Agreed.
He wants to go down as a top football coach in college, and to do that, he's going to have to do it somewhere other than Ole Miss. And an opportunity fell in his lap during the football season, which was a historic football season for Ole Miss. That happens to something drops in his lap for an all-time opportunity.
Yep.
I have absolutely no problem with Lane Kiffin and taking that job at LSU. I don't think he did anything wrong, and what some people might say, stringing Ole Miss along. Mm-hmm. I'm going to forget and forgive because I have some skeletons in my closet as well, Stu, about the Tennessee when he left the dark.
Not to cut you off, remember what you're going to say, but when it comes to those skeletons, are there skeletons you can talk to us about here in a little while, or you prefer not to?
Well, I could talk about my skeletons all. Well, there's some that yes, absolutely.
Continue where you were going.
Absolutely, I'm willing to say that he's I'm not going to hold what he did to Tennessee way back of walking in the middle of the night after the 7-6 season and going to USC after Pete Carroll took that job.
LSU. Okay, yes, okay.
After Pete Carroll left LSU. That's in the past. They would bring up a lot of things in the past from Lane Kiffin as opposed to why you can't trust him, don't believe him, and all those things. No, this opportunity presented himself, and me being a competitor when it's not asinine or crazy for Lane Kiffin to ask the AD for Ole Miss, can I coach my boys?
Right.
I mean, will it be right? Will he be denied? Does it make sense for everybody to let that happen? No. But I have to ask because those are my guys. I want to win a national championship.
Right.
Here I sit at 11-1. In this era, Ole Miss guys, this 11 wins, getting ready to be in the national college football playoffs. Y'all have never seen this before.
No.
Y'all have never seen this, so y'all can't go back. I built this. Not to be selfish, if I'm talking through Lane Kiffin's eyes, I built this. Mm-hmm. So, and to another thing about poaching and taking coaches and players away from LSU. Hello, that's going to happen anyway. whether he's coaching Ole Miss into the playoffs or whether he's just going to LSU right now, like he is. He's not going to take a coach. He's already took 2 coaches already. He's already going to talk to players that's going to come and join him already.
No question.
So no problem with Lane Kiffin. If you want to tell me from the Lane Kiffin perspective, I'm totally on board with what he's done, what he's did in this situation. I don't know that I correct him and say that he's done anything wrong.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Because again, maybe, and just maybe, Ryan Stewart, that this was one of the toughest decisions he's ever had to make in his life.
I
6
doubt
years
it.
6 years.
I doubt it.
He's built something though.
Yeah.
I don't know when he's been in a position in his coaching tenure prior to this where he's built something this close.
Well, I agree.
That's going to be called his baby. This would be Ole Miss. This was statue-like. And Ole Miss wanted for him to continue to make it to the college football playoffs. And here you are what we've been dreaming of. Okay, so in his family, maybe it comes down, do I really want to leave? Do I want to take that challenge? What comes with LSU? And every year I got to make it and then some, and SEC championship and national championship. So
and 12 million and a minimum of 12 million a year.
And a minimum of 12 million a year, and I'm a competitor, and I know Nick Saban coached there, and I know they just won a national championship, and I know they're going to get the best talent out of Louisiana and those guys that want to play with for LSU when they come out of the womb. So yes, and yes. With that being said, though, Stu.
Okay.
Flip side, the AD.
Because I was going to go. I was going to go pros and cons with you. I was going to give you the pros and then give you the cons, but please continue. Flip side, please continue.
Flip side, the AD, help me out with his last name. I know it's Keith Carter. Yes, sir. Keith Carter, the AD for the Ole Miss Rebels. He did everything he's supposed to do. He said to Lane Kiffin, hey, rush this decision. I need this decision by Saturday after the Egg Bowl. I can't have this tarry along too far. Lane Kiffin understood that. And Lane Kiffin, the mix-up is that Lane Kiffin wanted to finish, and Lane Kiffin wants to take some coaches with him. Right. You name me a coach that was named the new coach of another program that didn't have or didn't bring their offensive coordinator or quarterbacks coach, or they always do it. Kirby Smart, he took Dan Lanning, Glenn Schumann, Mel Tucker, from Coach Nick Saban. Every time you get a new job, you're gonna have some players that want to come play for you, and you're gonna have that battle of recruiting. So let's not act that those things don't exist prior. So, but the AD have to get Lane Kiffin out of the building just to save his team and protect his team from the enemy now, so to speak. In lack of better terms.
This is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Hamilton. I am one live Stu, Ryan Stewart, and Joe has given us his take on Lane. I'm sure as I get to talking, you're going to have some things you want to say. If you do, please just stop me. I remember where I am. This is your show. You take over when you need to take over. You get your points made, okay? Before I get into my pros and cons, shouts out to my man Marvin Childs. You know it's not personal. And even though I felt like Doug was a clown, I can call him that, but you can't. And I love you, Marvin. I appreciate you, brother. You know I love you, man. First pro, I think I got 5 or 6 of them. First pro is LSU. LSU, in my eyes, and a lot of other people's eyes that are talking about this situation, is a top 5 program in this country.
Yep.
So if LSU is one of the top 5 jobs in America and Ole Miss is not, why wouldn't Lane Kiffin, who's had 20 jobs in the last 10 years, why would he not want to go to LSU instead of Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Number 2, recruiting players to come to LSU will be a whole lot easier than recruiting players to come to Ole Miss.
Facts.
It's going to make his job easier. Why wouldn't he want to call a kid and say, hey, this is Lane Kiffin, LSU head coach, versus, hey, this is Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss head coach. What is the name? You got recruited. When those coaches called you and you heard their names for the first time and they told you who they were, in the back of your mind, there was something that was saying to you, man, what school's it? What school's it? And then depending on what they said, you would just have a conniption fit like, so-and-so's calling me. So-and-so's calling me. I remember when Notre Dame called. Vinny Serrato was the recruiting coach that called me from Notre Dame. And when he said, hey, Ryan, how you doing? This is Vinny Serrato. And I said, Vinny Serrato, that name sounds familiar. Yeah, I coach at Notre Dame. I covered the phone up like this. My mom and dad were in the background. I said, it's Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And there was no other school that made me do that when he called. Penn State called, FSU called, Southern Cal called. But when he said, this is Vinny Serrato from Notre Dame, I lost like, it's Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame. When kids get a call from Ole Miss, they're like, it's Ole Miss. When kids get a call from LSU, it's LSU.
Yeah, right.
So why wouldn't he want to go to that? All right. Second thing, LSU has better access to championships. Every coach except for Brian Kelly, who just got fired from LSU, every coach that's been there for the last 4 or 5 coaching regimes have won a title there. Ole Miss can't say that.
That doesn't compare. And to top it off with what you're saying,
yep.
You have guys that are going to LSU, regardless of who the coach is.
No question.
You have 5 stars
yes.
that's already in 9th grade, 7th grade.
Yes.
You know, phenom coming up. That's all they're thinking about. I cannot wait. I don't care who the coach is, that they're going to LSU. So that talent is going to always be there. No doubt about that.
Number 5, and the last one of my pros is Kiffin's legacy ceiling is much higher at LSU than it is Ole Miss. You mentioned it a second ago. He was going to easily have a statue of himself somewhere on the campus or in front of the stadium at Ole Miss. He was on pace to do that. Well, now, if he does what he did at Ole Miss at LSU, dare I say, he still gets said statue, possibly. The ceiling for him to be bigger and better when his name and his legacy is much bigger at LSU than it is.
He would have to be world class to get a statue at LSU, though.
Okay.
He's going to have to win 2 national championships, which he can do probably, but that's some high stakes. What I'll say to you about Lane Kiffin right there, though, is he saying by his actions to us, I understand that, Ole Miss hasn't done it, but is he saying to us that he didn't think or he does not think that he can win a national championship at LSU? I mean, at Ole Miss? He's saying that.
No way.
Yes,
he's not saying that.
Absolutely, he's saying that, Stu. So why go? If you're this close, Stu, this is sitting here now. Let me say this to you. This is the SEC, and Lane Kiffin has been ascending in the SEC for the last 3 years. Yep. And this year here, he set a record at Ole Miss. Yes. He has a culture there, a quarterback-friendly culture, and a defense there, because you just knowing, and Pete Golden, a defense that's been transformed, has been doing a very good job. If he was to get a national championship, turn this into making it in the semifinal, knocking at the door, and maybe being a national championship a picture, why not stay at Ole Miss?
Right.
Because you made this happen. And let me tell you this, to his defense.
I've got an answer to your question.
The last 3 years, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin has top 5 recruiting the transfer portal.
That's right.
That's how he builds his team. So he can continue to do that. And who's to say he can't win an Ole Miss, but his decision to leave Ole Miss is telling me that he doesn't think he can win a national championship there.
I disagree.
Okay.
And the reason why I disagree is because one is in Oxford, Mississippi, and the other's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. One is Ole Miss, and one is LSU.
No, but you say he can't win one at Ole Miss.
I think he can if he stayed. You know why? Because
that's what I said.
I thought you said he couldn't.
No. He
Oh, no.
can.
Oh,
He can at Ole Miss.
There was no doubt if he stayed at Ole Miss, he was going to be in line to build a culture of winning continuously, to continue to bring in the best players from the state at least. And he had an opportunity at a shot at a championship this year that he walked away from.
Yeah, but that's my point.
LSU.
No, that's my point though. Mm-hmm. He left, and reports said that Mississippi was going to match LSU's offer. Okay, right. They were in line to match his offer. Yep. So his actions showing me that he does not believe that he can win a championship at Ole Miss because he left or he's leaving. That's what I'm saying. And he would be more of a well-renowned coach if he was to win a national championship at Ole Miss than if he wins one at LSU. So would you agree with that?
Well, say the last part one more time.
He would be more of a renowned head coach and more beloved if he won a championship at Ole Miss, who's never won one, than if he won one at LSU.
Hey, man, Georgia Tech has won 4 of them things in our history.
Yes.
So why you telling me Ole Miss? Well, you didn't say he wouldn't have won there. Okay. Let me flip that real quick. If you win one at Ole Miss or win one at LSU, what is going to be heralded more? What is going to be looked
Ole
at
Miss?
more? No, because people don't. No one. Ole Miss don't move nobody's needle. It's Ole Miss. It's Ole Miss. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if they did it this year.
It moves the needle if you win a national championship, Stu.
Well, but Joe, the needle's going to move if you win a national championship anywhere. But I'm not going to stay in Mississippi when I can go to Louisiana. I'm not going to stay in Mississippi when I can go to Athens. I'm not going to stay in Mississippi. They're not looked upon as one of the top tier programs in the SEC. LSU is.
No doubt about it, but this is a guy that's building this. Nick Saban, I mean, I'm looking at Lane Kiffin as now, I'm building. I'm headed towards something. Now, we'll never see this, but I'm talking about his legacy could have been Ole Miss.
Right.
That could have been a whole new legacy, that this is the whole program that's surrounded around him. But I tell you what, I want to bring this up too before I forget. Who said, go ahead.
Right before you move on. In the last few years, every game, Ole Miss hands out a rebel freaking flag to everyone that comes inside. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I'm talking about from
they're still flying.
That's what I was talking about.
From a coaching perspective, from a recruit perspective, you handing out rebel flags in 2023, 2024? I'm not choosing to be here. Your ideology and your mentality is someplace other programs aren't. You're still living back in the day to where you had people enslaved if you're handing out a rebel flag when you got a bunch of Negroes playing for your school on the football field.
Okay.
It's degrading.
Yeah.
It's shameful. So why would any coach in their right mind want to tie their legacy to bigotry and racism? No, man.
I'm not sure if he went through all that, Stu, but you make a valid point.
No. I'm not telling you what he went through. I'm telling you they hand out 60,000 rebel flags every Saturday. I'm not tying my legacy to that.
The man spent 6 years there, though. I mean, he said he loved it. He said he loved it there. It was a tough decision, and I think it was the right decision. Okay. I think it was the right decision as far as year in and year out. Can you win it at LSU? Is it going to be easier? Yes, it would be much easier. But he was building something at Ole Miss. There is no doubt about it.
Shouts out to Raider Kev. Ole Miss playing one of the biggest games, was sold out with 65,000 in the stadium. LSU playing for nothing the same weekend has 90,000. It's a whole different program.
Whole different program, yes. Whole different program.
Okay, I'm hitching my wagons to LSU. The cons, in my opinion, for Lane Kiffin. The pressure now turns nuclear at LSU. I'm sure he's got an enormous buyout. He's going to make a minimum of $12 million a year. They promised to give him the maximum of NIL money every single year. Right now, that's $25 million.
Woo!
Yeah, right now there's $25 million. They promise him every year, we guarantee you get that. If there's any way we can get any extra, we'll give you that too. But the pressure to win now becomes nuclear. He could have had 1 or 2 losing seasons where he's sub 500 at Mississippi and probably been okay. You have 1 or 2 of those now at LSU, you got a problem on your hands.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Brian Kelly won 10 games a year, hit a tough roadblock this year and had some setbacks, but they got his ass up out of there immediately.
And Lane Kiffin is not going to get that benefit of the doubt that even Brian Kelly got. Brian Kelly never made it to the college football playoffs. Okay? He got the benefit of the doubt. Lane Kiffin is not going to get that benefit of the doubt. Stu, here's my expectation right away from LSU that you brought this up. This is where it starts, Ryan Stewart.
Okay.
Immediately next year when he steps on the scene, he's expected to go to the college football playoffs. Immediately.
No question.
Immediately. He's got a 7-year contract. If he lives up 7 years, he needs to be in the college football playoffs.
Every year.
And win 1 or 2 SEC championships, but be in about 4 of them in his 7 years.
I agree.
At least 2 or 3 championships and be in that game. All right.
Pressure cooker. Pressure turns nuclear. Please continue. Please continue.
And 1 national championship. So college football playoffs every year. That's 7. Win 2, maybe 3 SEC championship games, but be in some of them as far as making the game, and win 1 national championship.
All right. Other con, culture, fit, and politics. LSU is a heavy, old-school Louisiana-style political job. Kiffin is a loose-style, Twitter-friendly, California-vibing coach.
Go ahead, Stu. I like that.
That mismatch could get spicy really fast. Number 3 for the cons.
Can I say something about that right quick?
Yes,
Let me say, as long as he doesn't try to beat Brian Kelly and fake the funk on a nasty dunk. Brian Kelly came in with that. Yes.
That started his tenure off on the wrong foot, coming in trying to talk and act like he's a native of Louisiana. You better keep being who you are, Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
They know who you are. You better keep being who you are. Number 3. The con was he had it really good at Ole Miss. He runs the program his way, minimal friction. Fans love him. The university backed him no matter what. And he's built a brand and an identity that fits him in Ole Miss. It's not going to be like that in Louisiana. The governor, for the last few weeks, has been talking about the coach that the school was going to eventually hire. The governor got involved with Brian Kelly trying to get his money from LSU.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on a tight leash, dare I say, at LSU, where in Ole Miss, he was allowed to run loose in the fence.
Yes,
And sometimes they even open the gate in the fence to let him out. They're not going to do that at LSU. You're going to walk a fine line by them people.
Unless you win a lot of ball games.
Unless you bring me 11, 12 wins a year and get into the Final Four in the college football playoff. All right. Next con. SEC West, or its successor, is still a gauntlet. Even at LSU, he's battling Nick Saban, even though he's retired. What he did there. He's battling Texas. He's battling Oklahoma. He's battling Georgia. Crossover here and there. And he's battling A&M's big money. We keep saying top 5 programs. Well, the other top 5 programs are the schools I just mentioned because of the money that they've got and the backing that they've got, which also brings another level of pressure, another level of you having to answer to somebody.
Can he do it? Well, answering to somebody, again, I mean, LSU, all this is a part of a fan base that's in and over its head and is a part of where college football is going, Stu, that expectations and firing a coach is becoming the norm. Too easy. Paying that buyout. Why even put a buyout or ink a buyout of you, a chancellor or AD? You don't mind paying it, and you don't mind firing a coach.
No.
I mean, it's getting. I mean, so is it really true that it's championship or bust for LSU? Is it really that for Auburn? Is it really that for Florida? I mean, is it really, that's something I have to look into, because if Lane Kiffin, to what you just said, who he's going to have to be going up against, really good coaches, in my opinion, Kalen DeBoer, Mike Elko there in Texas A&M has a good thing going on. I mean, George and Kirby Smart. I mean, you look around.
Texas and Sarkisian.
Texas and Sarkisian. Brent Venables on Oklahoma doing a fantastic job. Vanderbilt and Clark Lee is also an up and coming. It's not a walkover anymore. So it's hard. But the expectation is that if you don't get to it and you don't, and that's why I say making the college football playoffs, being in the mix, having a chance and not playing bad football goes a long ways. But if you, I mean, it's a tight race, man. The margin between winning and losing is very, very, very slim, bro.
It's In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm one live student, Ryan Stewart. Penn State just fired James Franklin, and he's had a couple of 10-win seasons there. He hit a little rough patch this year where he lost 3 games, and they said, hey, man, you got to go. So when Kiffin is getting towards the end of this contract, after year 3, year 4, he gets to year 5, year 6, year 7. If he starts having struggles, LSU's going to do the same thing PSU just did to James Franklin. Hey, man, thanks, but no thanks. We got to go in a different direction.
Got to go in a different direction, man. Brian Kelly got fired. He wasn't under 500.
No.
He was not under 500.
Nope.
I tell you something about what I thought about in Ole Miss, and you started to show off about them making the playoffs, right? Is it a guarantee that they're making the college football playoffs?
No.
Thank you.
No, it's
Thank
not.
you. Why isn't it?
Well, there's no guarantee in today's college football because everybody's pretty much able to do the same thing. That's why you got Ole Miss, a team that's only lost 1 game, that's going to the college football playoffs. Everybody can buy a handful of players.
No, I'm talking about this year. Are they going to the college football playoffs this year?
You mean LSU?
No, Ole Miss.
Oh, yes, they are.
See, and that's why I wanted to bring this up to you, Stu. If you go by the rules and the committee and what they did to Florida State years back, this should be applied to Ole Miss as well.
Oh yeah, but they're not going to not allow a one-loss SEC team to not go to the dance because of extensive situations, No. Yeah, they're safe.
Can you recall what happened to Florida State?
Yeah, Florida State deserved to be in there, but because their quarterback was injured and wasn't going to be able to play, the guy that filled in for their quarterback that was injured came on the field and stunk it up. And they were like, we're going to get somebody else.
But they still won, right?
Yeah, they still won. They still deserve to be there, yes.
So my point is the committee penalized them for that. And the committee and the rules and what they said and the second bylaw, I guess, so to speak, or what they go off, if that changes.
Give them the permission to turn their back on somebody.
That if the player loses a player or a coach. Key members, it says.
Right.
Don't you think Lane Kiffin is a key member of Ole Miss? Where the committee might see they losing their coach and that might not see them to where they would see them prior to Lane Kiffin leaving.
No question, I agree with that, but they are still going to get into the college football playoffs. There's no doubt in my mind. And there's no doubt in my mind because of the way they play ball this year, and their players are healthy
with their coach.
Well, with their
offensive coordinator and their head coach.
Well, guess what? I believe it was the offensive coordinator, or is it the defensive coordinator that will be the interim coach while
that's the defensive coordinator? Yeah.
Okay. So in their eyes, they still got the talent. They're not losing a quarterback or a running back or a defensive end that's get 10 sacks a game. They're not losing that guy. They lost the coach, and they are probably willing to shake the dice that the interim coach can come in and do a good job like Lane was doing prior to that. Now, more than likely, depending on who they play, and that's another thing. When Florida State did it and got benched or got overlooked, there wasn't 12 teams in it at that time either.
That's correct.
So there were less spots.
Right.
You're not going to take all these spots away from an SEC team that's only got 1 loss.
Great point, Stu. Great point.
Last but not least, and this is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Joe, this is college football today. It's not what it used to be. The coaches have always been able to come and go as they choose without being penalized. But now the players can come and go as they choose. and not be penalized. I heard before Lane Kiffin made the announcement public, I heard him telling people, no, it's a different day now. Oh, no, the kids don't feel that way about it anymore. There's no pageantry. These kids are here because they're getting a check to be here, the majority of them.
Right.
So the way you're trying to say, I'm leaving this team, I'm doing these guys wrong. No, we were probably going to have an overhaul of players that left this season also. And I was going to have to get back on the recruiting trail and find more players to buy this upcoming season anyway. That's just part of college football now. So I say all that to say, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't think Lane Kiffin did anything wrong. I think that Lane Kiffin, like every other coach in America, is always looking for their next biggest paycheck and their next best job. Ole Miss leaves a lot to be desired compared to an LSU.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say this also. The way that I am and the person that I am and how you are, we probably would have stayed at Ole Miss happily. We probably would have stayed there and got in the trenches with these guys to try to win a title. We probably would not have thought that the grass would be greener on the other side. But Lane Kiffin's history shows and tells me that he don't think like you and I.
Right.
He's a hired gun.
He's a hired gun. He's a hired gun. And I would say this too, Stu. I think you would agree with this. I probably would have left for LSU, but went about it a different way. My communication would have been much different. I would have tried to make sure I found a way, just like Lane Kiffin, to finish the drill.
Right.
Finish the drill. Can you imagine not finishing the drill? And I understand what would have to happen. And remember what's going on Wednesday. See, that's why it's unfortunate for everybody. And that's why we have to look at this NCAA calendar. Wednesday is the first signing period of the early signing period in December.
Yep.
So now Lane Kiffin's got to be dibbling dabbling in that LSU and LSU. Dibbling dabbling in LSU and Ole Miss recruiting. He can't do both jobs.
Shouts out to Keith Carter, who said, "Man, if you're taking that job, get the hell on."
Come on, man.
There's no way in the world I would have allowed Lane Kiffin to stay on campus one more hour after committing to LSU.
Nope.
And I know it's going to set the team back. I know things might not go as planned if he was the head coach, but you are not going to keep this opportunity to go into the CFP with this team knowing that you're leaving in a few weeks whenever it's all over to go to another team. Lane Kiffin, you kiss my ass. Get out of here.
Hey, so Stu, before we move on, this is so interesting because I want to hear your answer. Is that different? Is that different because Lane Kiffin is going from the SEC to another SEC school? Is why he can't coach no longer? Or is it because you fear that he's going to take your players? Why can't he do it?
You can't turn your back on this campus, this program, this.
But he didn't want to, though. He didn't want to.
Well, if he didn't want to, then stay.
Okay, so so check this out.
If he didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, if he didn't want to turn his back on them, then don't turn your back. Stay.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. That is good, Stu. You're going to like this, what I'm going to bring up. And this is going to be the first time, so I want to hear your reaction.
They didn't make him go. He chose to. Then get the hell on. If we mean so much to you, just stay.
I want to hear your reaction to this. And I know where you're going to go with it. And shout out to you.
With your boy Joe Ham. I'm listening, Joe. Let's go.
And shout out to you for being this smart. Do you know who the Florida head coach, who they just hired, what his name is?
Of course I do. He's the coach from Tulane, John Summerall.
What's the difference?
There is no difference.
So John Summerall has accepted the head coaching job at Florida. Right?
Yes.
His team is going to be playing Friday night in the American Championship game.
Yep.
And his team, if they still be the highest ranked Power 5 now, they will make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
And they will be coached both Friday and throughout the playoff by John Summerall.
Yep.
Why is he allowed to stay around?
Congratulations to John Summerall and the way that the AD of Tulane feels about him. That's it. That's all I got for you. I think this is a game-by-game situation, a team-by-team situation, and a person-to-person situation. Kevin Carter, didn't want, it is Kevin Carter, right? Keith
Yeah.
Carter did not want Lane Kiffin around his people. He got to go.
Yes, that's well said. Well said. Simply put. And I have to concur. Two different scenarios, two different situations.
Tulane is honored to have Coach, the coach I just mentioned,
John Sumrall.
Yes. Tulane and David Harris, who is the athletic director at Tulane, and Sumrall have a good relationship. David Harris and Sumrall are on the same page. David Harris and Sumrall didn't have a big dick contest for the world to see for the last week. That's all I got for you, Joe.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you, Joe.
But the communication between Ole Miss, Mr. Keith Carter and Lane Kiffin, supposedly pretty good as well.
Yep.
I mean, all that communication, but I like your answer, man.
Pretty good until it's not. Shouts out to Coach Sumrall and all he's done for Derek Shepard Jr., former teammate of ours. His kid plays D-line position at Tulane. Oh yeah. And I talked about this on the show. When I went to take Miles to Tulane for the summer program last year, I spent about 2 hours with Shep Jr. And I said, hey, man, this is your third school. You think this is going to be home? He said, Mr. Stewart, more than likely somebody's going to come with a bigger check if I handle my business like I'm supposed to. And if that happens, I'll be gone again. Which is where I was going to end with this thing.
This is where we are, man.
Of the beast that we're dealing with in college football now. There's no pageantry. There's no loyalty by the coach or the player. At least now, Lane Kiffin is not the only one that's being blessed to go somewhere. The kids that he's leaving, they have the same opportunity.
No doubt.
Give me your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders and how he's handled his starting opportunity.
Lovely. I'm very pleased and I'm happy for Shedeur Sanders. He's coming off the right way. He's acting the right way. And how do I know this? I know this by listening to the beat writers take and answer questions from Kevin Stefanski, how they are very impressed about his approach. First one in, last one out, his knowledge of the offense, even to the tune that they're thinking about extending his the playbook, or opening more of the playbook, letting him digest more of the playbook during the week. Now it's baby steps for me, and what I'm looking for, Stu, is I'm looking for the huddle management, clock management, the command of the offense. Is he rattled? Is it too much to handle? Does he belong in the NFL? And the answer is yes. Yep. And it started off being a day-by-day basis or week-by-week basis, whether he's going to go forward and be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns for the last 5 games. No doubt about it, because he hadn't done anything to set himself back.
Nope.
He's only going to grow from here. And I love the fact that what happened last game, not that they got stomped, but how did they get stomped? I mean, they had a fumble on the 4th down in their own territory, but they shouldn't have went for it. Had a muff punt.
I told Doug in that game, because I watched that game. I had the Falcons game on and that game, but I had the volume up on that game instead of the Falcons game, which I don't even want to talk about them. Don't even get me started with the Falcons.
My God, man.
I told Doug, they had a hard time flipping the field when it comes to field position the entire game. Cleveland did. It felt like they were in their red zone every time they got the goddamn ball. You can't go 80 yards all the time. It don't work like that.
This is a total evaluation for Shedeur Sanders to gobble up. This is going to be the direction whether Cleveland goes and say we can build on Shedeur Sanders going forward, or do they need to go get a quarterback? He's handled himself tremendously. Now, he's still taking a little bit more sacks, and that's going to be more when he gets the more defenses and be able to slow that down. That's going to come. But Shout out to Kevin Stefanski as well. He's shown this guy nothing but love when Shedeur was the guy. You can say whatever you want to say about how he treated Shedeur coming up to this point with the reps and being prepared, but when he's the guy, he's treating him just like he's the guy. I was watching the game and Shedeur went down for one play. He got injured and he jogged to the sideline and Dylan Gabriel came in. I said, Shedeur, don't you let him get more yet.
He got one play off, and he was looking for the second play, and Shedeur tapped him like, "Hey man, I'm back. You can go
I'm back. And
Yeah.
then Kevin Stefanski was quick to put him back in, and he was quick to name that Shedeur Sanders was going to be the starter this week's
already
as well.
said he will be this week's starter as well. Okay,
it's all in his lap.
Wrapping things up in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I am One Life Stu Ryan Stewart, and no, some of y'all have texted me. This is not Wednesday show. On Wednesday, we'll be back with a whole nother list of topics to talk about. Before I let you get out of here, Joe, and thank you for making time to pop up today.
Absolutely, brother.
I overheard some people talking about Georgia Tech and about Brent Key as the head coach and about how upset they were with the way the season ended with us losing 3 of our last 4 games. And they were talking around me as if I couldn't hear them. And they were talking around me as if they didn't know that I'm a Yellow Jacket. And I think they wanted to get a rise out of me. So I didn't allow them to let me get a rise. But I calmly said to them when they got done talking, hey, I wasn't ear hustling y'all, but I did overhear what y'all was saying. Can I share my thoughts as a former Yellow Jacket? Oh, you played for Yellow Jackets? Oh, we didn't know that. We love your thoughts. Brent Key's first year, he went 4-4 as an interim. Brent Key's second year, he went 7-6. Brent Key's third year, he went 7-6. And this season, Brent Key went 9-2. If my coach, 9-3, I'm sorry, 9-3. If my coach sustains or gets better every year, I'll never knock what he's doing. I'll never do it. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'll never do it. And this is a phenomenal 9-3 season for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Did we fall short? Yes. Do I wish we would have done better? Yes. But he went from 7-6 to 9-3 to date, and he's got a playoff game, not a playoff game. He's got a bowl game that he'll be playing in shortly. He's got a chance to have a 10-win season on the flat. This was an outstanding season by my head coach and his team, Brent Key and the Yellow Jackets. Your take before I let you go.
Well, you're a loose judge. You're a loose judge.
Yep.
And you're a lenient judge.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. And outstanding, man. Come on, Stu. No way that's outstanding. Okay. And I'm going to leave mine inconclusive until the bowl game, because if the bowl game happens to have us end up, and I say us with pride,
yes.
Have us end up not winning 10 games, have us end up with 4 losses, to me it will be an extreme disappointment.
Okay.
And this is why not going into the season. See, that's why we play the games, and that's why we always put things in and put things in context.
That's right.
If you had said that to me before we played Colorado, Stu, I would say, yeah, sign me up right now. But how it played out, when you're saying that, 8 weeks into the season you were 8-0, and then you lost 3 out of your last 4 games to end up being 9-3. And you had playoff aspirations in mind. You had a trip to Charlotte in your control, as far as you win, you go on. You controlled your own destiny.
Understood.
And to have it end like this is disappointing.
Yep.
Not a failure, but it's disappointing. So that's how I look at it, because where you were, and I still look at the schedule and look at it. Our best win was a Clemson team that's 7-5.
Right.
So what do we take from this? So we end up in the same situation that we knocked at the door. We were a senior-oriented team, and we just didn't cash in. That's what I'm most disappointed in. Not this was a bad season, that we didn't cash in is my only thing. I think we missed an opportunity.
I am beyond disappointed that we will not be playing deeper ball. I am beyond disappointed that we're not going to the college football playoffs. But I got a coach that is winning 60% of his games. I got a coach that's 27-18 over 35 games. And I got a coach that is on the heels of having a chance at a 10-win season. If that happens, he's 3 wins better this season than he was last. I'm not knocking that. I'm not going to belittle him. I'm not going to ish on him. He's done a very good job. Do I want him to do a better job? I want him to go undefeated every year. Is that realistic? Hell no, it's not.
Yeah, but you cannot not bash the team and bash the coach. We can leave Brent Key out of it. We're not saying anything negative about Brent Key. Shout out to Brent Key. Yes, 10 more years. Yeah. But the season that we all put together right now slipped through our fingers. Are we still trending up? Yeah. Yes, because you alluded to the records. But we let one slide, brother.
I think if Marco Coleman or Brian Baker's there, I think it's a different defense. And if it's a different defense, I think it's a whole different team. I think they don't win. They don't lose 3 out of 4 of the last games. But defensively, we lost our grip the last month defensively. We lost our grip.
And then we showed up in the last game.
They battled Georgia. It was the team I wanted to see previous weeks. Now they didn't win, but they battled, they fought, they played like they deserved to be there. They didn't do that last month. They didn't do that versus NC State. They beat BC, but they didn't do that versus BC. They didn't do that to end the season.
I will go to my grave and saying this particular season, as Tech got 8-0 and moved on throughout the latter parts of the season, they started to read the press clippings. They started to believe the hype and thinking that they could show up and other teams were going to lay over. I mean, that's what the NC State. You tried to do that with BC. And Pitt, you just didn't show up in the first quarter. So,
Joe, this committee is extremely, extremely inconsistent. I think Ole Miss will be safe. But if they decide that they don't want him in there, they don't have to put him in. They get to do that. It's a rule. It's a rule. We get to say they don't pass the eye test for whatever reason we want.
Yep.
Hey, man, thank you for today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's huge, man. That's therapeutic.
I really appreciate this, man. I had to get a lot of this stuff off my chest. Doug and I talked about Lane Kiffin for like 30 seconds this morning. I had so much more to talk about, as you see. Man. I had so much more to talk about.
And I see you still jotting down, too.
Oh, got a whole page full of notes that we won't get to today. Maybe on Wednesday. To everybody in the chat room, thank y'all for being here. Y'all please continue to subscribe, like the show, and pass the word about the show. Pass the word about the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Pass the word about In the Huddle with Joe Ham. Pass the word about the Two Last Twos and the Two Last Twos experience. Everybody that sent chat, thank you for your commentary and bringing context to the show. We appreciate it. And Joe, you get an A+, they get an A+, and God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If y'all don't know him, you need to find him and show him love. That's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all very much. Peace. Boy, I enjoyed that. That's so much fun.
Easy peasy.